And that will be us. We are now live.
We are apparently live, according to our tactician here, or excuse me, our technician. But you're also a tactician, in a manner of speaking. A tactician. There it is. That's a Blade Runner class if there ever should be one. Anyway, here on Breath of the Fall, that's the game we're going to play. I literally almost said Starward Bound. Anyway, my bad. It's going to be a fun night tonight, but first let's get to some sponsors. Our first and our oldest, Tabletop Loot. Head on over there. Use the code WebDM15 and you get 15% off all your dice mugs, t-shirts, and whatnot. We love them over there. They also, aren't they doing some like dice bags now or something like that?
Like bags and trays, I think. I don't know if it's official yet, but it's happening.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was just seeing the tweets. So anyway, so check them out. They're good people. And also, we are very proud to be sponsored by D&D Beyond, the foremost place for all of your D&D online needs for characters and character sheets and all that fun stuff. Go check them out. We're running some specials. Or what is it? WebDM? Oh, wait, no. Is that private?
No specials on that. We do have specials if you really want a legendary bundle. You can sign up for our top tier of our Patreon, and then I can give you a code for 25% off a legendary bundle, which is about $130 off the bundle. It's pretty sweet.
So check that out over on Patreon. Let's get around to cast and crew. Then we're going to do a little bit of a recap and get started. Starting with you, Kiana, before the food gets there.
Yes, I am going to be eating dinner during this stream because food's important, y'all.
Yeah, stay refueled.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to be back this week with some more lovely, fun Numenera shenanigans. Although shit's getting weird. I think that's the only way I can describe it, that shit's getting weird, and I don't know how I feel about it.
It's going to get weirder.
Cool. I'm glad that's happening. But yeah, I play Zenia, who is our, brain has decided to stop working all of a sudden. A jovial nano who controls gravity.
Hell yeah. Emma, how are you this evening?
I am good, Pruitt. I have a literal box full of snack food from New Zealand, and I just cracked open LMP, which is called Good Lemony Stuff, and it's delicious. Hashtag not sponsored, but it's great if you happen to just be in New Zealand, or you have a friend from New Zealand who's willing to spend way too much to send you snack food. Get some of this because it's great. I'm excited to be here. I've had a very anxious day, and I am looking forward to pouring all of that anxiety into the screams of Zenith fans.
Well, yeah.
I hope there's lots of reasons for him to just start screaming.
I can roll a couple more times on my tables. I can roll.
Can you do that for me, Drew?
Yeah, hang on. Let's see what we got. While I'm doing that, Grant, why don't you close out the intros?
Hey everybody, my name's Grant Ellis, and if I was a Transformer, they'd call me Optimus Fine. I wanted to see Kiana's response. Go ahead, feel my shirt. It's made out of boyfriend material. All right, I think that's seem to have lost my phone number. Can I have yours? All right, the glasses are coming off. Hey everybody, my name is Grant Ellis. I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games and the producer here on WebDM's Twitch channel. And after that list of 3 pickup lines, I might not be that anymore. But I will be playing Boss LaFontaine, the heroic Arcus who explores dark places, a bit of a silver fox and a eloquent man of magnificent shape and stature. Back to you, Pruitt.
Grant, Emma and I are going to have you stay after the stream. We're going to need to talk. Anyway, no. So, here on Breath of the Fall, our heroes find themselves descending into a vertical tunnel, some 17 kilometers in diameter. They have descended probably they'd estimate around 50 to 55 kilometers into just a vast, dark nothingness. The walls are made of repurposed scrap from ships and pieces of old, like you've seen like tanks and like various like hovercrafts and also pieces of like buildings. It just seems like just everything that you could imagine of a civilization is made of has been repurposed into walls here in the fall. And in your descent, you had various interactions with pirates and the wildlife here, and even made friends with some of it. Our missing member this evening, he himself has befriended a bloat scrat, a bloated squirrel about 3 feet in diameter that literally farts noxious gas to move around and control its buoyancy. It's kind of disgusting, but Tywu is a special case. And at the end of last adventure, y'all had saved an explorer, a veritable rocketeer, if you will, from some cannibals that were chasing him down and trying to ground him against the wall where their skull dogs could chase him and pin him and take him. But the party interceded, and Grant has the possibility of a new follower here, as he owes you a bit of a debt, a life debt, if you will, and that being Vash Farak. And so he is there as you are kind of hovering in the aftermath, and it's only then you notice there's a rush of wind, and not the breath, mind you, something much smaller but mighty close by, and you see Tywu atop Pretty, as he is wont to do now, riding his new mount slash pet slash disgusting, bloated, noxious. Anyway. But he begins to descend straight down in a spiral. You see a plume of yellow gas in its wake as you hear the scream of Tywu. Not a scream of terror, you don't think. It's more like you, the players, being on a roller coaster. It's much more of that kind of a whee as he descends into the fall. And that's where we're going to begin. As Vash Farouk is kind of just hanging out there, he'd just kind of taken a seat as close as he could to Zinnia, and is asking all about that signal device, because he himself is tracking some signal, so he's immediately just talking to Zinnia. But I believe Zenith, you were driving the hovercraft, right?
I was driving.
Sniff. Okay.
I was in charge. I was cool and responsible.
Well, like I said, there's a burst, and he descends down. Vash jumps up, much like you would imagine a hero to do, where he jumps up and has one knee up on the side, looking over the edge, and he kind of looks back at y'all, and he's like, "You want me to go after him, or what's up? How fast does this thing go?"
Goes pretty fast.
Okay.
Just start going down.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yes, and then Zinna starts screaming at Tywu, "Get back here!"
Yeah, that's.
Shut them off. How quickly does he fall? No.
Well, he's not only falling, but his mount is expelling a lot of fuel, I'll say. We'll just use that term instead of gas. Sorry, Kiana's eating. Actually, I'm going to be as disgusting as possible while Kiana's
eating. Kiana's little. Don't do that.
Sorry. Don't toughen me up.
I need a gif of Kiana.
Kiana's tough as hell. Like, I don't know anyone tougher than Kiana.
True.
There's like 2 people I'm scared of in life. Kiana's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kiana and Allison Robinson.
I'm over here eating noodles.
Fucking noodles. So yeah, how fast is it going?
I weighted him down. I tied him
What's
up
that?
his arm. I'm making all these jokes about. I weighted Tywu and I tied him up to minimize air resistance and just shot him off like a torpedo. How quickly is he falling? He's not here.
We're getting to the bottom one way or another.
Cast him an iron.
He is moving at a very rapid pace. You begin to descend, and you can tell pretty quickly. Actually, I'm sorry. You almost distracted me from putting you in danger. First thing, I'm going to need a speed roll. If you have any kind of piloting or whatever. I mean, for piloting the ship in a rapid descent and keeping it steady.
I don't believe I am trained in piloting.
Okay.
We decided I was the one who rode the passenger seat.
I thought you were driving.
I am driving. No, but like when I was a regulator.
Right. You were the passenger seat cop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a level 4.
Okay. Oh, where's my stuff? Oh, I have the wrong document open. I'm on a different computer. And I get the one.
And while she's looking that up, everyone is going to need to make a might defense roll. If you have anything versus poison, or if you don't need to breathe, or have some kind of asset like a ventilator, which your new friend, he kind of like shuts the helmet of his thing. He's like, you can kind of hear the mechanical breath, the breathing apparatus of it. But that's going to be a level 4 as well, defense roll.
I am putting a level of effort into my speed roll.
Okay, so it's a level 3, so you only need 9 or better.
I rolled an 18. I'm fine.
I rolled a nat 20.
You rolled a nat 20. Okay. Well, in that case, everyone gets an asset on their might defense roll as you are able to kind of bank and get out of the clouds for the most part. And so, Kiana, you're fine. Grant?
I rolled a 17.
Okay, you're fine as well. And also for Zenith, give me a might defense roll. You got an asset, so it's a 4. It brings it to a 3.
Good.
Level 3.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna take 2 on your might pool.
That means I'm down to 2.
Oh, really?
Hooray!
Okay, and I'll come back to you in about 10 minutes. So, but you, like I said, you are able to maneuver the skiff in kind of like a loose barrel roll that that keeps you for the most part out of the trail that you're following right now. Here's the problem. While you think you were gaining on this beast pretty, all of a sudden the trail runs out as if this thing kind of ran out of gas a little bit. And so if anybody has perception, or you just want to make a perception roll to try to see if you can pick up.
Specialized in perception.
You are.
I'm trained in precision.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one because there is not a lot of light. You see a little bit of a glow of some phosphorescent moss on the wall. This is more of a kind of a sickly white, like a dingy white color, but it gives off a bit more of a glow than the others have that you've seen thus far. And but still, that's the only light around here. So this is going to be a tough level 5 perception roll to get some sign of where Tywu went.
Double effort specialized reduces it by 4. I rolled a 9 on the die. Good enough to beat difficulty 3.
Awesome. Zenith or Kiana?
I got a 13. I'm trained, so that'll make it for a level 4.
Okay.
Nope, that was a 4.
Okay. So 2 things happen here. You, Zenith, you think you catch it's more of just like a passing shadow as you think Tywu on Pretty is heading towards the wall, kind of just past where this moss is. It's just one of those things where you just kind of see it pass in front of the edge, and you're pretty sure you see his kind of rags that he has wrapped around him, kind of fluttering behind him. But Grant, your guy,
Boss.
you see something else that kind of makes a chill run down your spine. You kind of look a little bit north of where you are headed as you descend, and you see 3 of those skull dogs following. Like you as an explorer have been on a hunt before, and these things are like in a perfect kind of wedge following y'all as you go down. But you do remember like the leader of the guys that were harassing Vash. He flew off and took the dogs with him. But you're not sure if these are the same dogs, but you're like, you have a suspicion that they might be.
Right. Let us. I'm gonna point out what I see to our leaders in its dance.
Yes. I saw a shadow. What is your kid doing?
Them hounds over there. Sorry, I'm southern now.
Those hounds over there.
The hounds approach.
There's hounds in them hills. Yeah, I repeat what I see to Zenith, and I'm worried about Tywu. I don't know what's quite got into him. We're gonna have to pursue or lure away.
Pursue or what?
Or lure the hounds away.
Honestly, Bass, you have to get a handle on your kid.
My child.
You're the one who has him here. So obsessed with you. Follow you anywhere.
You are an expert in obsessions. I give that to you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm obsessed with the truth. And nothing but the truth. I will... What are the options?
Well, you thought you saw Tywu descending and heading towards the wall just past this patch of phosphorus that you're coming to the edge of, and north of y'all, above you, you see some hounds that are looking like they're basically tracking your movement, but not like overtaking you as you descend.
Yeah. What do you want to do, Bass? Zenith says as he readjusts his hair.
I think these hounds are going to continue to be a problem, and knowing our luck, we're going to end up with our backs against the wall, and they're going to surround us. So I recommend we face them in the open field, where we might be able to evade them. That's just my inclination and feeling, though.
You want to fight them?
Yes.
I don't know, Bass. I feel terrible, personally.
What do you think, Rocketeer?
What?
I turned to Vash.
And he kind of looks up. He was sitting there like looking at Zinnia as y'all were kind of bickering, and just kind of like giving Zinnia the do they do this all the time? Like look like.
I think Zinnia kind of does like the kind of.
And he just gives you the what are you gonna do? You know. But he kind of snaps into it and looks up, and he is immediately back to business. It's like, well, those look like the same house.
Let's get down to business. Sorry, I was hoping for a whole. Come on, Vash.
Sorry, I don't know that one. I like more classical opera.
He sounds a little more like Robert Goulet with that voice. I don't know that one. Dabba-dee-dabba-doo.
But if those hounds are here, then and he immediately begins kind of scanning the air around y'all, the immediate area, because he's worried about the masters to the hounds. I'm not going to be on anybody's dinner plate tonight.
Cannibals?
Oh, they were cannibals. They were yelling at me everything they were going to eat off of me and in what order.
You can understand them?
Well, I mean, they did. They talked. I mean, they were literally like yelling jeers and insults, and I'm gonna eat your toes first, and then your fingers. And
toes.
It was all very cliche. I don't know.
Wouldn't even taste good.
It's all bone and gristle and tendon, right? I mean,
yeah.
Go for one of the. I mean, seriously, and he kind of turns. He's like, "Look at this hind quarter. Look at this rump."
That's the part I would eat first.
You would enjoy my rump. Trust me.
I'm sure I would.
Anyway.
At that, Bass puts a rag on Zinna's head and starts lying him down. Just, you need a rest. And you do need a rest.
I really do.
I'm going to take the wheel. I'm like, you sleep for a little bit. You just rest yourself there. Don't get all worked up over those hind quarters.
Thank you. You're my friend, even though you've been mean to me, almost.
Well, term used loosely. But I kind of grudgingly... what the heck? We're friends.
That was special.
Zenith's conked out. I've already taken my 2 shortest.
Oh no, we're just gonna have to conk you out for the next year. No, 10 minutes.
Wait, you've already done your action in your 10-minute?
I think you get a.
I think maybe I've just done my action.
Okay.
I think I've just done my action, so I need the 10-minute.
Yeah, I think we need to put you down for 10 minutes. Let you catch your breath.
So in that case, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to basically do kind of some evasive maneuvers to kind of stall the chase?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I look at Zinnia. Does Zinnia have any sort of piloting ability? If not, can we just like improvise and add those? Because Zinnia would be like an awesome X-wing fighter pilot. Can Zinnia be like Rey from Star Wars?
I would say definitely I would definitely say that Zinnia, if you put effort into the event, then it would be something akin to a Luke flying an X-wing, using the Force.
Sure, why the fuck not? That's cool. I can manipulate gravity.
I mean, that's the thing is that's you basically controlling the buoyancy of the ship with your mind as opposed to the controls, just because you're, I would totally, I
can spend some effort. That's cool.
I'm going to use my anecdote ability and tell Zinnia the story of, she bears the resemblance to the greatest starfighter pilot I ever knew. His name was Hans Brolo.
And a compatriot, Suk Lywalker.
Suk Lywalker. Never trust a Lywalker.
Oh, no. That path is the dark side.
I'll spend some effort and do a thing, I guess.
Okay. I'm giving the anecdote so you get an extra point, like a free effort.
Okay. So this is going to be a tad more difficult. But with your free level effort, it would starting at a level 5.
Mm-hmm.
So your anecdote takes it to a 4, effort to a 3.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have anything else that would help me. I don't think so. So let's give that a go. 14.
A 14, yes. Yeah. You easily kind of break the skiff into a very like almost a parabolic course, heading towards the wall and then dipping back out in like kind of a slow corkscrew. And so it forces the hounds to kind of slow down as you get nearer the wall, and it kind of throws their pace off. But it slows your progress. So by the end, I would say for about 10 minutes, you're descending past this phosphorescent field of moss that is kind of running parallel. It's taller than it is wide, this field itself. It's probably a long distance tall, short distance wide. And it's very well lit. And so Zenith gets a 10-minute break as you're kind of getting to the base part of this this field, kind of moving past it. And this is close to where you saw Tywu kind of pass But you can go ahead and make your recovery roll, Zenith. And by the way, this is a 10-minute break, so anybody can make a recovery roll.
Feel better.
I
can't get that.
There's a chorus now?
Yeah, the Duel of Fate starts playing from somewhere in the distance.
I had Joey Hake, the designer, on a stream once, and he sang the national anthem that he wrote for a nation. But, like, backstage, Will was in the game, and he was just like, my character's going to sing Duel of the Fates, so just get ready for that, Grant. It's like, all right. Cool.
I remember watching that premiere on TRL. Good time. It's a big deal. Sorry.
I won't die when I get hit immediately because I got a rest as well.
Alrighty. So everybody, you get a little bit of a rest, and now you can, as you get to the end of this, Zenith, actually everybody go ahead and give me another perception check. This one is only a level 4 because there's, with all the light above you, you can clearly see the hounds.
I just met it.
Okay.
Fairly good.
Yeah, you can clearly see the hounds, like 2 have broken off on the right, 1 on the left. But the thing that you do see is just a little bit higher in altitude than where the hounds are descending along the wall.
Jim, or Pruitt, sorry.
No worries.
I rolled a 1, and there's going to be a GM intrusion. That's what I was trying to say, Jim.
Oh, you rolled a 1?
I
Okay.
rolled a 1, so I get an intrusion that I cannot refuse. No XP.
Okay. So, Zenith, as you're kind of waking up from your nap, and you all look up, Bass is more worried about, you're tending your wounds and finishing off your rest, and he's kind of focused on that. And he kind of knocks over a bottle of alcohol, and it sparks a wire, and the hovercraft itself kind of lurches to the side. But it's not before you see, seeing this, you see 3 winged figures descend from above. They're a little bit higher in altitude than the hounds themselves. So the hounds are about halfway down this moss field that is kind of extending that y'all have made it to the bottom of. They're about halfway down, just entering the light of the glow of this field. Is these 3 winged figures, and you can clearly hear a bit of a maniacal hoot and cackle as they begin to move in.
Zenith screamed, "The cannibals descend from above!"
Yes. And you hear them yell, "Cannibals descend!" as they begin heading down.
Super subtle.
Yeah.
So subtle.
I mean, they're cannibals. And like Vash is like, "Now do you believe me? That's why I knew they were cannibals."
I didn't disbelieve you. I just couldn't understand what they were saying before.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the Doppler effect. I mean, you know about the Doppler effect, right? When sound is,
Yes.
Never mind. We can go over it later.
Research on that a few years ago.
Oh, well then, why are you not getting this? I'm confused.
Zenith's talking about something else entirely.
I know. Vash isn't the brightest bulb in the batch. How do you want to play this, boss?
We're going to have to stab them through the heart till they bleed until dead. Draw my scimitar.
All right. That's okay. Yeah, that's one way to take it. And he kind of pulls out like a small blaster. He's like, "Can I use this though? I mean, I don't have a."
Assuming you know how. Fairly nice piece.
Hey, it's
Don't
me.
Han Solo me, Pruitt.
It's me. And then Vash kind of just like hops off the skiff backwards and like hits his rocket and does like a loop and it's all very, you know, and he
I was
begins
hoping
to kind
my intrusions, he hits his head on a wall as he's jumping backwards. No, this is cool. We got it.
hang on. I rolled an 18. No, man, it's I mean,
awesome.
it's almost like Blue Angels material.
He's the Mad Mardigan of Rocketeers.
Yeah, like
You are
that's what
great.
he's like. Literally, that's what he's good at, though, is flying a jetpack. So
Yeah, definitely. Like, Danielle like leans over and like watches him, and just like actually impressed by this.
but yeah, he basically like hops out and is now kind of running a circuit around you, almost like just like covering defense, because the skiff is starting to spark and sputter. The on the front right quadrant of it, there's all kinds of electronical failures, and so the skiff is beginning to like lurch, and Zinnia, it's getting harder to control. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll initiative. This is these are level 4 creatures, just so you know.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 6.
Listen,
I rolled a 19.
You look disappointed in us, Pruitt.
oh, it's all good.
You get an intrusion if you roll a 1 on.
Bass, what was you?
19.
19, awesome. Bass, you're going to go first. And I'm going to say that you do get a minor effect on that. You spring into action. So whatever you do, you're going to get an asset. So
All right.
where do you want to start? We'll get to the GM intrusion when we
I
get
wanted
to
to
the...
use my glider and glide directly into one of the descending cannibals.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I figure if I'm going to die, this is how it happens. I'm going to fly right... I'm scrappy.
Okay. No. I tell you what. Since they are descending, and you can kind of catch your glider to catch air and basically hit the brakes. I will say this. Normally, I would normally treat this like trying to move a short distance and attack, where it's like a level 4. But we're going to disregard that. So I'm going to say that you can totally fly up and hit either of the 3 with your first action here, and you have an asset on that.
Okay. I'm not good at hitting things. Let's try.
Yep. Okay. They're level 4. So.
Yep. So I'm going to
use it to hit or for damage.
I'm going to spend an effort. I'm going to use effort to hit, and I'm going to use the asset to hit. That's not good, Pruitt.
So it's down to a level 2, so you need a 6 or better. Would you roll?
I rolled a 5. I'm going to use an XP to reroll.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been bad.
I got a 7.
You did just good enough. So, are you trying to ram this guy, or are you actually trying to attack him with the saber and kind of as he passes?
I figure if the saber, if he's coming down and I'm going up, this is like Street Fighter 2 uppercut with the saber. It's just like,
Okay.
sure you can. It's like fly up into him.
Okay. So you're attacking him.
Yes.
And is that a light or a medium weapon? I can't. Is it light? Okay. So, all right, that is 2 damage to that guy. But yeah, you run by and kind of like score a passing hit, and he kind of clutches, and you hear him kind of curse as he hits his jets and kind of breaks off. He breaks off to head towards you. The other 2, though, continue to descend.
All right. Call out, cannibals, go for that tasty rump. Go for it. It's delicious.
And here's the deal is, just roll right quick. Wow. Okay. Yeah, he manages to actually, Vash, as he flies by, he shoots, and you see him shoot the pack on the cannibal's back, and and smoke boils out of it, and he kind of, you hear the slow descent as it just passes on past the skiff, Yeah, and he is taken by the fall. But the remainder flies straight to the skiff. And Zinnia, as you were trying to like kind of gain control of y'all's descent, I mean, y'all had pretty much stalled in actual like losing altitude. You're just kind of moving laterally. And this cannibal flies down, and he go ahead and give me a speed defense roll, I guess, if you want to try to get out of the way, because he's heading to like attack the actual skiff. Like he wants to force y'all to the wall where his hounds can move in.
Okay. But speed defense. No, fucking 1. Why?
Oh, that's just too perfect now, isn't it? Got a 1 there. Old Zenith had a 1 on the initiative. So this is perfect, because Zenith, you're awakened from your nap. I mean, you literally opened your eyes and like saw these guys were like, hey, these guys, and then they're on y'all.
I scream.
Yeah, I mean, no, you let out that perfect Daniel Stern scream.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. This cannibal flies by and like hits the same front right area that y'all it was already malfunctioning.
Mm-hmm.
And the craft itself just like lurches forward. So here's the intrusion. Zenith, like you get thrown out of the skiff.
Great.
Okay. Hang on, let me just roll to see which direction. Okay, well, here's the only good thing. You are kind of being thrown in the direction towards the wall.
Okay.
So that is a good thing. You're not heading towards the center of the fall. It's at least towards the rim.
Yes.
And so
Zenith will think to himself, he is the fattest and softest of us all, which means that the cannibals will surely want to save him, for he will be the most delicious.
More than likely.
Yeah.
So that you get thrown out as this thing hits. But Zinnia, it is your turn now. Anything you do here is going to be at -2 because of the damage inflicted. It was already damaged, now it got hit again. And that is part of your intrusion. If you want to try to save this skiff, which it's not, like it's pretty beat up right now.
Yeah, okay. I want to use... Try to figure out whether I want to use weighty or push. And to just try to get Skiff moving off and away from them. Give us some breathing room.
Uh-huh. Well.
I'm going to do weighty. I want to briefly increase the weight of the ship.
Okay. So you increase the gravity around you and begin to descend to try to break away from this cannibal. All right. What's the normal roll for that?
It's a roll. It's an action.
Interesting. Okay. Give me an intellect roll.
Okay.
In order to kind of, this is more about you controlling which direction you're falling with this power, because the skiff is still, it's still active, so it's trying to maneuver. So this is an intellect roll to kind of basically guide the thing down a little bit faster. It's going to be a level 6, because you're trying to literally direct the skiff with your mind as opposed to like the controls, because they're almost useless. So, and okay. I'm sorry, that is with the -2,
okay.
Because normally driving the skiff is 4. So,
yeah. So it is. Yeah. So it would make sense. I do have to spend an intellect point, but I have an edge, so it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Do anything. Okay. So I'm going to. Can I argue that this is related to understanding Numenera, I'm trying to understand the powers and also how this ship works.
Yeah, I mean, you still have your hand on the stick trying to guide it while using your powers. So yeah, I mean, you're a voice in your head tells you to let go, Zinnia.
Let go. No. I'm also going to spend 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
Trust your feelings.
So that brings it back down to a 4. So you get a 12 or better on this roll.
Okay. Fuck. Nope, that's an 8.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to expend an XP to reroll.
Okay. Can't
That's
argue with that.
That's a 12.
You rolled a 12?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's why I love Cypher. So, yes, it gets a little hairy there as you, it's like you're riding on a water slide that you can't see, so you can't tell when it's going to turn, and that's what it's like for everyone. So basically for just you, Zenith, because Zenith got thrown clear, which we're going to resolve here in just a second, and Bass already flew off. So you're basically, the air, the buffets and everything, and you manage to pull away from this cannibal and get the ship a little bit closer to the wall. You could land next round if you want to, but if you want to keep flying, you have moved a long distance past where Zenith was thrown. Okay, so there is that. So you've kind of broken away. Also, in the middle of your descent, as you're going down, you hear the same kind of sounds of just like the metal kind of bending under the increased weight, just the kind of the of power. And much like before, you hear that same kind of hiss and signal, kind of Mayday, and then go away as you just hear a word. Sounded like Mayday. But it's just as you use your power and you descend, and that word kind of flies out of your detector. It's gone in another hiss, and you have broken away. Zenith, you were thrown clear.
Yes.
Of the skiff, and you immediately watch it just kind of like drop down in a way that you've never seen, in a very unnatural way. What is your reaction there, sir? As you begin to free fall.
Run. I get to give one to somebody else, right?
I'm sorry?
I get an XP. Do I get an XP and get to give it to someone?
You get an XP and you get to give it to someone else. And also that means, Grant, you got an XP and got to give it to someone.
Cool.
Because y'all both had an intrusion.
I'm going to give one to... well, I had an intrusion for rolling a 1. I don't believe I get experience when I roll a 1.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, then I don't.
Oh, well, we've been playing Cypher wrong this whole time. Like anytime we play, it's like, you roll a 1, okay. But that's right. No. A GM intrusion is wholly separate from that. You're right. So anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm heading towards the wall. Yes.
You're heading in the general direction of the wall. Yes.
I'm going to attempt to make contact with the wall in a way that will hopefully not kill or injure me.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, are you still wearing like the wingsuit coverall?
I got the wingsuit on.
Okay.
I kept the thing on the whole time.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you pretty much immediately like throw your arms out then, and they kind of bloom out. They have little straps to keep the wings in while you're just kind of walking around. But the wind, it's Velcro.
I was like, do it with me, little Z.
And he kind of hops off your shoulder and he throws his out, and it's like, and you managed to give me a. I mean, you know how to glide around, so this is only this is actually a level 4 because you were kind of thrown off guard.
Okay, and it's actually a level 5 because I still have a sore shoulder. So
hey, way to remember lingering injuries.
I remembered a thing, even though it doesn't benefit me. Let me see. Might roll, speed roll.
This will be a speed roll. It's more about finesse and kind of it. You're basically trying to execute a maneuver that's very hard to do, where you have to basically go towards the wall at the very last second, pull up so you fill your momentum with gravity and grab onto the wall.
Yes.
You've done it once before. Once.
Okay. I put a level of effort into lower the difficulty back down to a 4.
All right, so 12 or better.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. So yeah, you don't so much pull up all the way, and you kind of more slam into the wall.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. In fact, how many more days do you have on that sore shoulder?
1.
Okay. Add another 2 days on that sore shoulder. As you basically like hit the wall and you start to tumble. But I mean, as y'all have started to notice, or maybe the walls are becoming more like they have more gaps and there's less wall. Whereas a little bit higher up, the last couple, like 20 kilometers or so, there are a few holes here and there, intermittent. Whereas here, I mean, it's just like a scrap Swiss cheese of the wall, like kind of south of this white phosphorescent moss. And so there's plenty of places. What I'm saying is to basically kind of grab a ledge.
Okay.
And so yeah, it wasn't graceful, and you slammed your shoulder doing it because you kind of hit the wall and tumbled a second, and you kind of hung on at an awkward angle.
My shoulder.
Little Z is like literally like he kind of, and he comes down in a perfect like superhero squirrel landing, and you hear like a when he lands. That's not true. And so, but you do manage to land safely, if not a little worse for the wear.
Okay.
Back to the top of the initiative, Bass. You scored a hit. You're the guy you attacked. He kind of broke off. It looks like he's trying to round about. Yeah, he's pissed.
Quick question, because it's relevant to my abilities. How old do the cannibals look?
It's hard to tell. As you were coming in there and approaching, you could kind of tell they were. It's hard to tell the age because they look emaciated a bit. They've lived a hard life, but Palpatine, you would maybe 30s, 40s.
30s, still fairly young. Fair to say they're fine young cannibals. Sorry, I've been waiting for like 20 minutes to say that. I'm bad.
He did have a look about him.
Yes. I'm gonna smack him again.
All right.
Oh gosh, I can't keep putting effort into these. It's gonna be the death of me, but I might have to. Let's see what I got. I am really not a fighter, and I'm going to, but I'm very, very brave. So brave. All right, I'm gonna swing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, all right, let me do this. I got a 16. That's good enough.
A 16 will hit. Yep, they're level 4 creatures, so that you managed to hit. Looks like he was kind of banking around. You were still kind of in a slow descent, and he was coming around more to you, and you managed to kind of get the drop on him.
I imagine this is the moment I like Inigo Montoya switch from left hand to right hand. Ha-ha!
Yeah, totally. It's the whole slow motion. You see his eyes go wide in disbelief as the blade transfers hands. Yeah, and your strike scores a crimson sheet across his chest. His blood kind of spills out, and he. Oh my God! I'm gonna season your bones with my blood.
Like no one else.
You got me crazy. I can't help myself. Anyway, sorry. But here's the problem, Bass. He doesn't like break away this time. Like he like grabs onto you. Or he's attempting to grab onto you.
Do I get a chance to size?
Yes, You can give me either a might or speed defense, whether you want to try to dodge it or kind of push him away. But he's like trying to grapple you.
No, yeah, I'm much better at speed defense rolls. That's where all my training is. 19.
19. Okay. So minor effect here. I'll say this: as he's trying to grapple you, he spins you around, and you can actually see that your new compatriot Vash, having dispatched the other cannibal, was banking around and heading towards you to offer support. And you see him like bearing down on you. So you manage to easily get past him as he tries to grab you. But suggestion for a minor effect: you can basically push him into a course to give Vash a better attack, like an asset or two on his attack. What do you think?
That's what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't have any. Got no puns ready for this, and it's I'm just like, yeah, heck, go say hi to Vash. He could use the attention.
Oh, and a marvelous rump on that one. And you kind of push him, off course, and it totally breaks his aerodynamic. I don't know the words right now. Anyway, and he kind of like breaks formation of flying and kind of spirals before he's starting to regain his momentum and direction, and that's when Vash is like right there. And I actually rolled a 19 for his attack. And so, yeah, it's another perfect shot where he's not shooting the cannibal. He's aiming for the jetpack, and just puts a shot right through it. And I will say, even with a minor effect with that, it actually hits the fuel line, and there's an explosion of this cannibal. And both you and Vash are now drenched in fine young cannibals. So there it is. That's gross. Zinnia. Oh wait, sorry, I did not go for the cannibal that is currently harassing you. He actually, you put enough distance where he is giving chase, and he basically just hit the afterburners and is coming after you in a straight dive. So he's using all of his action for that, and it is now your turn.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna push this guy. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any direction you want to push him, or just
towards the wall.
Okay. Makes sense. I mean, you did spiral pretty close to it. I would say your distance from it is somewhere between 10 and 15 feet. Like, you're pretty close in your descent, which is kind of dangerous. Like, you're looking and you can see there are like things sticking out of the wall, like pieces of like equipment and like cranes and stuff. It's very weird. And so, flying this close to the wall in such a high speed is not advisable. But I mean, he's a level 4 creature in a power dive.
Yeah, it's just enough to nudge him in that direction. Nope, that's a 3. God damn these rolls.
All right. Yeah. Man, that sucks. So you push him, but you just completely mistime it. And you actually, I'm going to say, with a roll that kind of bad, you actually push yourself away from the wall a little bit. And yeah. And again, as you let that energy out of you, you hear a hiss from your hip. And a voice like comes up again for just a word. And you're positive this time. It says, "Mayday." And it goes back to a hiss and then disappears.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's, I will say this, it has been the same voice every time.
Okay.
Like every one of these words, you kind of heard just fragments at first. You've only heard technically 3 words: angel, mayday, and mayday. And so, yeah. So that's the only 3 transmissions you have heard. Everything else has been just kind of like a syllable. But again, you can tell it's the same voice.
Okay. Yeah, definitely like grabbing for that and kind of being, hello?
Yeah, you've transmitted on it back to Aru before, and you kind of hit the same thing, and you're just still met. Like you come up and the signal is there, like you're still on course heading down towards it, and it's still tracking the signal, but like there is no response.
Okay. It's gonna like mentally shrug at this. I'll probably just continue kind of monitoring it. So I think she still has it in one hand.
Okay. Zenith.
Yes.
You look down, about a long distance down. You see Zinnia kind of trying to dodge the cannibal diving at her.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit above, you see a giant explosion as, and then there's just kind of like a weird cloud of blood that just kind of falls past you.
Scream through the blood.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't get on you, thankfully.
Oh, that's good. But
you definitely you're pretty close to the moss, and you can feel like heat coming off of it. Like you're close enough that like you look up, it's like being near like a neon sign or something like that, where you can kind of like you can just hear and feel like.
What color is it?
It's like a dingy white, but it's fairly bright, like as where you are. Like it kind of casts very interesting shadows because it's like really bright directly above you, and you're kind of in the wall, so there's, weird shadows play about this area.
What happens if I touch it?
Is that what you want to do with your action? Is climb up there and touch it?
Well, I thought it was like within.
I mean, you're gonna have to climb a little bit.
Oh, fuck that! My shoulder hurts. Pruitt.
You're the one that said you want to go touch it. I said.
I thought it was like right there, and I was just like, "Oh, let me touch it."
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of handholds. It's not that difficult of a climb.
Have you ever tried to climb with a hurt shoulder, Pruitt?
I mean, I've only dislocated this one 7 times and frozen this one once, so no.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
Yeah. No, and then I'm just going to try to climb down to my friends. Climb down to Zinnia.
Okay, so you're just going to slowly make your way down?
Mm-hmm. Sensibly.
Okay. If you're moving at a sensible rate, then I'm not going to have you roll because there's plenty, like I said, there's plenty of handholds and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's more just like finding these weird natural staircases of just like weird chunks of like I said, you might be on a ship and then you're climbing down and you're almost positive this is some form of like you've seen like books and videos of like tanks and like weapons of war and things like that, like artillery pieces. Like you see like the barrel of a giant artillery piece kind of bent into place around something, but they're all just kind of mishmash and just shoved into the wall like awkward fitting Lego. And
it's
so
greebling. Is it greebled?
Sure. I'm going to pretend I know what that is until I look it up here in a minute. What?
No.
What?
You need to know. I thought you knew what that was.
I'm not a smart person. I just appear that way.
You're brilliant.
Let me say this. I didn't have a classical education in school, so there are odd gaps in my knowledge base.
It's Star Wars shit, Pruitt.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was a Trekkie.
Me too, but I know what greebling is. Anyway, so yes, I'm gonna go carefully, and
like the Death Star. Got it.
Yeah, little bits, the bits and pieces.
Yes, that is thank you, because that word would have helped in my initial description of this place. Yes, that is the exact description of the walls here, of just like patchwork, unfinished, but not for lack of trying, more of just probably resources.
Yes. Interesting. Well, I'm going to walk down.
Oh, that's right. You're sensibly climbing down. Okay. So, Bass, what are you planning on doing here?
If Vash hasn't dispatched that guy, I'm thinking we're doing the old tag team maneuver where he sets him up for the stunner, and I'm gonna double flapjack his cannibal legs.
No, he's a cloud of mist. Unless you're talking about the leader, who's way down.
Yeah, you're right. He's missed. I
mean,
I just saw this picture in my
you
head
did
where
that last round. You set him up, and he.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think I'm gonna look at Vash and gonna be like, "Let's take out the big boss," and then I'm gonna start gliding down. I'm gonna go after that leader.
Okay.
5 knuckle shuffle.
Yeah, so you begin a straight descent, and Vash actually, like, you kind of feel a tug at your back as he is flying past you with his suit, and he like pulls you along to fall faster.
Yeah, I almost picture.
And he wants to fastball special you.
Yeah, okay, I almost want to be like, Vash, take me, as I let go and I'm released from the glider and it gracefully flies. My body begins to fall. Vash catches me by the hips and just kind of, we like figure skate our way towards this. He's going to start speeding up.
Okay. Yeah, getting rid of that extra wind resistance, you do begin to speed up.
Ramming speed.
Okay. So, Kiana, you did not manage to get the glider, or excuse me, the skiff out of the path of this last cannibal, who is not aware of what has happened above him. And he's still descending upon you, a lone injured quarry. And so he's swinging around and coming right at you there. So this is going to be, well, technically level 6 roll because of the... All right, no, I'm sorry. That was just for that one round. Level 5 defense roll to try to move this thing, just to throw off his attack because of the damage to it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's just gonna be it, because I'm like, don't know if I can do anything.
Okay.
Nope, that's a 12. Fuck.
I thought you were trained in speed defense.
Nope.
Oh shit, never mind. Okay, well he comes in and attacks the skiff once again. This time he basically hits it at an angle and like hangs onto it on kind of the back corner, so like kind of the diagonally opposed to the injured, the front passenger side. He kind of lands on the back driver's side to throw off the weight, and the skiff itself basically careens into the wall. It is a very violent. So as you do, Zinnia, it is your go. It's about to be your go, but I'm going to need a give me for you a speed defense roll. Unless you want to do something.
Am I trying to? Is this to stay on the ship?
No, it's more just to dodge as the ship, like, you're basically hitting in between two large areas of just like structure and wall, and the skiff is going to kind of hit between it. So it's more of just like ducking and covering as this thing crashes into a gap in the wall.
Okay.
As there's just, there's random scrap and just detritus everywhere.
All right. don't think I can do anything else, so I'm just going to try to roll that.
Okay.
A 12 again. Okay, dice roller.
Well, no. This wasn't to pilot the ship. This is I'm sorry, did I not tell you? This is a level 4.
Okay.
This is just you just covering up.
Yeah, ducking. So yeah, a 12.
This is the ship is going down and you crash into the wall and you're just covering your head. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you get dinged around a little bit. Let's just take just 1 off your might pool as you're scratched up. You're bruised a bit, but you managed to cover up all the vital areas, the head, neck, all that. So you're good. So it is your action now. You can hear the skiff immediately begin to groan as it crashed, but it's not lodged. And you can feel it shift a little bit. So it is your go.
I'd like to try to enact the weird forcey thing that I had, and I want to use push. And push this goddamn ship off of the wall.
You're going to push it off the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You still staying in it?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I'm using myself and then this.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Give me a quick Numenera roll.
Okay.
Just kind of glancing at your ship.
Cool. I am trained in understanding Numenera.
That you are. This will be a level 4, so level 3.
Okay. Cool. That is a 19.
Minor effect. Okay. You can tell that the hydraulics are out on all quarters here. Mm-hmm. You have, 4 out of the 10 lights on the left side are all flashing red. The other 6 are flashing yellow or orange, turning to red. With that, this thing probably can't fly anymore.
Okay.
At best, you maybe could enact its buoyancy, it's like gas reservoirs that these little pockets that inflate and can just kind of hold it still. You think you could get that going if you tried, but flying this thing, no, you would major repair.
Okay. Then if that's the case, if I can figure that out, I'm going to instead run towards this guy who's hanging off the ship. And not without breaking momentum. I'm just gonna fucking tackle him off it.
Okay, so he's literally right behind you, so it'd be just you standing up out of the seat and just diving at him. So just give me him. You're just trying to grapple him. Mm-hmm. So give me a might roll. He's level 4.
Cool. That's a 12.
Wow.
My dice roller really likes 12 today, y'all.
You just got there. You just kind of take a 2-step jump, and he's pulling himself up on the ship, he was kind of hanging off. So it's this thing where he's coming up, and he's oh man, I'm gonna prepare a nice fillet out of you, and you tackle him, and he goes careening.
Basically, I want to take us both off.
Yep. No, you do. Yeah, you are now flying off. And so we're gonna cut to you, Zenith. Zenith, you're just sitting there climbing down nice and leisurely, and then you see the skiff crash into the wall.
Scream.
You scream, and then you hear another scream from below as the cannibal is screaming profanities, and then as you see Zinnia tackle him out into the fall, and you're just holy shit. But that's when you also hear the baying of hounds above you.
The hounds.
You finally hear, it's just the one right now. The other 2 that were coming around the other side, they're a little bit further away since they're on the other side of the phosphorus field. And so there's only one that is bearing down on you. And if you don't do something, he will be on you the next turn.
I get out my gun.
Okay, you're gonna fire a shot off.
Shoot her. Yeah.
Shoot her. Yeah. And just a reminder of what these things look like. They look almost like emaciated dogs. where the skin is just like literally right on top of the skulls, and it's kind of translucent where you can actually see their skulls. So when they're blinking, you can still see their eyes when they're blinking. And where their shoulders begin, instead of like a dog's front legs, it's more like like a simian, they have arms that end in like clawed hands. So that's the thing. That's how they can just run up and down these walls, because they can actually grab things. They have thumbs. It's very upsetting. And this one is heading at you as he's and he sees the kill. It is your turn.
Going to attempt to shoot it.
Okay. Yeah, these are, I believe, level 3. I'm a bad DM because I should have that pulled up, or I should have my book open.
You're not a bad DM, Drew.
No, I know.
No negative self-talk zone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll say level 3 right now.
All right. Level 3. Ooh. I got a 14.
Nice. Well, that hits it. How much damage?
Is it a D6? Is that not about right? Or no, it's just flat damage, right? It's a medium.
It's a medium weapon, so it does 4 damage.
4 damage.
Awesome.
Do 4.
Yeah, you hit it and do 4 damage. It's not enough to kill it, but it is enough that it breaks stride. And you see it like break off and kind of run parallel to you, and is now kind of circling around you. But you see him kind of like, and there's like this gross kind of black blood dripping out of his wound. And you just kind of see him look over and yelp a couple times. Mm-hmm. And then the other 2 yelp back. And he's now just kind of forming a circuit, like moving around you about a short distance away, not coming any closer, but moving more towards his friends that are coming around in reserve.
Scream back to it. It's right dangerous.
Yeah. Awesome. Bass, it is your turn.
All right. I'm currently in the arms of an angel. As Vash and I are. Yeah. We're moving in as soon as I'm within striking distance. I'm like, once more into the breach, and I want him to release me. I'm gonna torpedo this cannibal. It's fine, young cannibal.
Okay. So you and Kiana are gonna make a cannibal sandwich.
Yes.
Well, I will say this. You have an asset on this because he does not see you coming. And Kiana has him kind of, they're kind of tipping over, and you think you can like time it where you'll kind of tackle him on the back, and Kiana has him wrapped around the waist. So yeah.
Back to my youth as a trapeze artist. All right. So.
Of course he did.
I rolled a 15. No effort.
Okay, yeah, it was a level 4, but with the 1 asset that brings it to a level 3, and yeah, so you managed to tackle him as well. You see Vash kind of fly around you as he's just kind of basically playing lookout right now, and this guy's going to. You see him kind of reaching out like. The only problem, Bass, is you're kind of wrapped around his back, and that's also where the jetpack is. And so you see him like look back, and he's trying to like shake you off of him, and you see him over like hitting his thumb on like a button that's on like part of his glove. Looks like one of the controls for the jetpack. But nothing is happening right now, as he's kind of like cussing and he's just trying to shake it all off. So one of you give me a might defense roll. The other can be an asset, as he's basically just trying to shake y'all off. So who wants to make that roll?
I'll let Zinnia.
Okay.
So give me a might defense roll. He's like trying to shake both of you off and maneuver. But yeah, so he's normally level 4.
Okay. 19.
Okay. Yeah, Zinnia, when you like grabbed him around the waist, like you felt that you like hit some nozzles or some dials or something on the back of his jetpack. So you're like, you hanging on, like, like it's next to one of your hands, and like you have seen one of these in a book, and you actually saw the one that Bass, him and his whole family, or his group, excuse me, when they first arrived, they all had these jetpacks. Some of them were in pretty ill disrepair. A couple of them worked all right. The Regulators got, some of them. So you have seen these before, and you know that there are adjustments for like fuel and air and all that. And so your minor effect, basically, I will let you have an asset on whatever action you want to do next, since you are next to go. If whatever it is, you have an asset on that, because you can kind of just like mess with one of his nozzles or his hydraulics, and like his wings will kind of twitch, and
Okay.
I mean, you understand Numenera.
I do understand Numenera. I don't, but Zenia does.
That's why we play these characters.
Oh my god. All right, green room chat.
Did you roll another 2? Or did you roll a 1?
No, I green room chat. That was a thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
You should read
I'm going to see.
Damn it. That's why I have it closed down most of the time.
I am going to I'm just gonna fuck with his fuel.
Okay. So in that case, we're going to do an intellect roll.
Okay.
Because this is you literally understanding or manipulating Numenera.
I'm also good at puzzle solving.
You're good at puzzle solving. So you're basically like, all right, I know there's an O2 gauge, and there's like a fuel line, and there's a hydraulic line, and it's you trying to figure this out without seeing it while plummeting down. And Bass is on his back, and right now he can't hit the boosters, and you're pretty sure the booster is literally right above your hand. Like there's like a little shelf that protects the little nozzles, but you know the booster is like right there. So if he does manage to like turn this thing on, it will both burn Bass and you. So you do know that. So yeah, in that case.
Wait. Can I try something else?
I mean, the die hasn't been rolled yet, so you can do whatever you want.
I want to try to undo the straps of his goddamn jetpack.
Well, that's a whole nother kind of puzzle. Yes.
Yep. But it's still puzzle solving.
It is still puzzle solving. I mean, trying to figure out how to work straps in the dark is it's a rite of passage for anyone. And it is a skill. And you're gonna have to do this one-handed, because you still have to hang on with one hand. So this is some advanced level shit.
Well, granted, I can hover, so.
Well, he doesn't know that. But...
yeah. So I'm just gonna try it. Basically, what I want him to not be in the jetpack anymore, and Bash still has the jetpack while holding on to the jetpack in some fashion.
Okay.
Because I've noticed he doesn't have his glider anymore.
No, he doesn't. Okay, so you're just going to try to just like reach forward and unstrap his straps.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this will be in that case. Okay, I'm going to say this is a speed roll, because it is manual dexterity, but you can still use your puzzles and everything. What do you think?
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay, speed roll.
So yeah, this is going to be pretty difficult too, because you can't see it and you've never actually hooked this thing up. But you are understanding in Numenera and puzzle solving. So that's 2 assets. Yeah. So So the initial difficulty I was going to set was going to be 6 or 7. So I'm going to go 7.
Okay.
Because I mean, like unless you like have a knife and you're cutting through it, if you're just trying to actually unstrap it where he will fall out of it, yeah. Level 7, so you have your 2 assets to bring it to a 5.
Okay. How does effort work again? Like, if I have, can I just use effort as long as I spend
It's an action.
Points?
Yeah. No, I mean.
Cool.
Yeah, this is an intellect roll because I mean you're trying to figure it out. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I just said it was a speed roll.
Okay, I'm just gonna spend 2 levels of effort.
Okay, yeah. So that's 5 points out of your speed pool, and that brings it down to a 3. So you need a 9 or better.
Okay. That is a 9.
Oh shit. On
just there.
Number.
All these rolls, just there.
Just getting there. But yeah, you managed to, because he's like more focused on like trying to get his pack working and shaking you off. He's not paying attention to what you're doing. And so he literally slips out because he's trying to jostle you free. It actually works against him. So a lot of things happen all in the same moment, but we're going to cut back to Zenith right quick. as things are unfolding in the middle of the fall. Zenith, it's just you and Lil Z. You got three of these skull dogs bearing down on you.
Yes.
It looks like the compatriots will join him next round.
Okay.
So, what? Oh, I finally found it. There's the entry. They're level 2, by the way.
Okay. How far away are they?
They're a short distance away. Like I said, that one kind of stopped at about 45, 50 feet away from you and is now just kind of circumventing you, joining his 2 compatriots that are coming around the bottom of the phosphorus moss.
I'm afraid my camera's about to fall.
To descend upon you and let the feasting begin.
I'm going to shoot the one I shot before.
Okay.
And hope that scares the other 2.
All right. So this is a level 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's not making any effort to hide.
17. So it takes 4 more.
It technically takes 5 because 17 gives you +1 to damage.
Nice.
So yeah, you line up a shot as he's just sitting there like snarling at you, and you see some blood kind of dripping out of its mouth at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's making a leap from one piece of scrap across a small gap, he's about to grab on, and you literally just shoot right at the elbow and shatter its elbow, and it goes tumbling into the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And it does, but that does cause the other 2 hounds to, they themselves break their pursuit, and one begins to circle around. So you have staved them off for another round.
I just yell at them, I did it to your friend, I'll do it to you too.
And one is now circling. All right, back up to the whatever the hell's going on further down. So, Bass, you're hanging on to the back of this dude, and then all of a sudden you feel the pack go free. Give me a speed defense roll. Excuse me. This is just it's a speed defense to hang on to that pack as it just
so down.
And this is going to be. I mean, you are wrapped around this guy. So this is a level 4, same as the guy, the creature itself.
Cool. I'm going to apply 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
And I am trained in this. And assuming I roll my virtual dice in the correct.
So you need a 3 or better on this level 1 tab.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, yeah, so this guy basically tumbles free. Or he begins to slip completely out of this. And Zinnia, you're still like hanging on to him, and like your weight is starting to bring him free. But he is going to try to grab on to the pack itself. But Grant, you currently have kind of control, so I'll let you make a might or a speed defense roll, whichever. If you want to wrench it with your strength or just kind of wiggle away from him as y'all begin to, basically as you're falling, kind of part ways as he kind of tumbles out of the straps, and he's now like trying to grab at you to not lose, his jetpack.
All right. So, clarify, was that Vash grabbing at me or the cannibal?
The cannibal.
Okay.
Because he has just slipped out of his straps, but he's trying to grab onto you to try to regain control.
Yeah, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to shift position where I'm holding on to him.
So you want to let go of the jetpack?
No, that would be stupid.
I mean, that's the thing is he's starting to part ways, and you were hanging onto his back, and instead now that he slipped out, you're now just hanging onto the back of his jetpack, and the wings are out, and it's.
I'm gonna cut the straps off. I'm holding onto the jetpack, and I'm gonna unstrap him.
Oh no! Like that's what I'm saying is Zinnia already did that. Like he's slipped out of the straps.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, no. That's why he's breaking away from the jetpack. I'm just saying he's now trying to grab you physically as
I'm
he's
kicking him in his face. I'm kicking him in his fat head.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, so you want to do a might defense roll? Is you just want to kind of kick away from him? Because like this is his action. You're grabbing you.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll speed defense. Move out of the way then.
Okay. All right. So this is a level 4 attack. I'm going to say technically a level 3 because Zinnia is still grabbing onto him. So I'm going to count Zinnia as an asset. So this is a level 3 attack as he's just literally just grabbing at anything to try to maintain contact with his.
I'm so good that I rolled a nat 1. So intrusion time.
Hang on. Oh, wow. You're not gonna believe this shit. This is what I literally drew. The foe reacts with sudden terror, gains an additional action which it uses to flee. So he was trying to grab back on you, and guess what? He did, and he grabbed onto the jetpack and like hits the button, and the rocket ignites. And so that's what he's doing. That's what he did with his additional action. So 2 things are gonna happen now. I'm going to need another speed defense roll from you, Grant, to hang on. And keep in mind that now a rocket is burning near your stomach area. Depending on how exactly you're hanging on to the back of this jetpack, there's a rocket there that has now just been ignited. It's not burning correctly because Zinnia did screw with it, but he literally just hit the button on that was hanging off the strap. And Zinnia, same thing, either speed or might to try to hang on to him as this thing just kind of takes off in a random direction. Yeah, that was an awesome one. That was a great draw. I love these intrusion decks.
Okay, so, I rolled a 15, just straight up.
Okay, yeah, no, you managed to hang on to him as all this kind of occurs, this certain jerk of motion. Bass, what did you get? Level 4 speed defense roll?
Bass, take the wheel. I'm debating. Well, I'm trained in it. It's a good thing I'm trained. I rolled a 9.
There you go. Okay, yeah, you're trained.
Just enough.
You got there. So yeah, you managed to hang on to it too, and you just get out of the way. It's hot. It's very uncomfortable as you're kind of like hanging diagonally off this thing, and there's like a burning rocket pack like right next to your leg. Zinnia, you're on the front, so you're okay, but it's not comfortable on your hands that are around the back. It's getting kind of warm back there too. But since he's not actually in the pack, it's off at an odd angle. So you're okay for now. But Zinnia, it is your turn. It is actually your turn now to act, as y'all have all just been kind of like tumbling, and then the pack kind of pulls y'all in a direction. So what's your? How do you want to try to do this?
This is interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, just so y'all know, y'all can see Vash is pacing with y'all, but y'all are tumbling in such a random direction. You can tell he's just kind of keeping his distance because he can't like get in there because somebody might swing around and hit him, but he is there in support.
Okay. So I'm holding on to the guy. The guy's holding on to the jetpack that Bass is also hanging
on to. Yeah. Nobody's literally strapped into the jetpack that is currently fired off. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make it work.
It's fine.
You do what you can with what you get.
I hoverboarded on a brick into the
unknown. That did happen. So
I'm going to take out one of my darts and I'm just gonna fucking shank him, dude. And trying to get to his wrist of the hand that's holding on to the fucking strap.
Okay. All right. So so that's your attempt. So now we know, at least for we have some focus for if you should roll well enough for a minor or major action.
Mm-hmm.
So level 4.
Yeah.
Attack to stab him with darts. What, 2 damage? Light weapon.
Yeah, it's a light weapon. It's meant for throwing, but I'm just gonna pull it out and just go. Pop. 15.
Hey, yeah. You stab him in the wrist. Hang on. Just want to roll something real quick. He hangs on, but he grunts through it. That's his first injury technically. So he's not happy, but it wasn't quite enough to get him to let go. You think maybe one more, and you could maybe that could do it. Zenith, cutting back to you. You currently have 2 of these like skull dogs. One is kind of pacing back and forth over here. From where you're sitting against the wall, it's kind of would be just to your like the 3 o'clock position. The other one is swinging around, kind of in a double envelop, a pincer move, if you will. Okay. And so they're basically, these are hunting dogs. They're hedging their bets before they charge to try to force you to pick a direction.
Okay.
But you can see like the next round they'll be in position and attack. So your turn.
I'm gonna shoot the one that's coming around.
Okay. All right. It's a level 2 creature.
That is an 18.
An 18?
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, you shoot this thing, and that's 2 extra damage, which is exactly what you need. This thing's coming around, and where'd you shoot it? What does it look like when you put a blast through this thing?
I think I put it through its meaty sinew shoulder, and it just collapses.
Okay. Yeah. You it enters just behind the shoulder here, and I mean, like the blast goes right through both lungs, heart. It's like immediate, like it just falls away dead, and there's not even a noise because you burst its lungs before it could react.
Yeah.
And so there's just a blast, and it's just falling free, tumbling over against the wall as it disappears into the fall. And its companion, now down to 1, kind of lets out a somewhere between like a howl and a growl and something. I'm
gonna bark at the companion.
Yeah. You think you detect a hint of mournfulness, but it looks like it's turning to retreat. Like it's adopting like a posture of like defense and retreat. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it looks like that Zenith is secure for the moment. Little Z is like behind your head, like looking out from behind your neck, hanging onto your ear. And Bass, you got a guy hanging on to a rocket pack. You're looking down. You can see the little like handle that he was clicking before that he clicked. It's just kind of dangling free as you're flying. And Zinni is hanging on around his waist as he's like kind of clutching like one hand on your leg, one hand on a strap. So what are you doing there, sir?
Okay. He's got a hand on the strap.
Yeah, he kind of like climbed back up. He kind of grabbed your leg with one hand, and then he reached up and he grabbed the strap and hit the button with the other. And so he's hanging on to one of the straps, right? But like...
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think if he's hanging onto the straps, I'm going to stick my sword right in this meaty part of him, because it's nice and exposed. It's just kind of like, come on, man. Come on.
Okay.
Bust your ribs. Gonna like right. Rocky Balboa those things.
All right.
My sword.
So,
it's a difficulty 4.
This is a kill.
Am not a
this
fighter.
Is a kill. Yeah.
So, I failed. I got a 10. I was due.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Yeah, I am going to introduce a GM intrusion, if you will allow it.
I will allow it. I love XP.
Okay, you miss, but your sword manages to like slice into the like controller that hits the rocket, and it like boosts another direction. Like you like basically accidentally hit like the nitrous button. So yeah. So I'm gonna need everybody. Whereas y'all were just kind of flying a direction now, and I wasn't gonna have you make another speed defense roll. I'm gonna need everybody to make another speed defense roll as y'all just kind of change direction and you're like, whoa, and go another way. So this is level 4, and so you get an XP and you have one to give to someone else.
I'm gonna give it to Zinnia.
Hooray!
Y'all are in this together.
Nat 20.
Holy shit!
1. I get another intrusion.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I have been cursed by Zenith Dance.
What is with the rolls today? Holy shit!
All right. Oh, that was the wrong. I'm sorry, I drew from the wrong deck. Hang on. Let me. Because the last one was pretty easy. Yeah. So here's the problem, Bass. You kind of hit this thing, and since you were swinging, that means you were only hanging on with one hand, and you like the pack gets jerked out of your hand, and so Zinnia and this guy go another direction, and you are all of a sudden falling free.
All right, can I spend 2 XP for a short-term benefit, a limited ability? I want to, as they're going off, as I fall, I want to catch Zinnia by, like, the heels. Just like...
Just like grab onto Zinnia's heel and just
falling, like... Yeah, I just imagine, like really strong lobster claw grip, just... my old hand straight.
Yeah. I will allow that for a 2 XP spend. Yes, I will say that you have the quick... your life flashes before your eyes, and like a cat, you just like reach out and to grab onto the last moments that you have.
I feel my kidneys deflate.
You pull some hard G's you went from like this is a 90-degree turn, and so you pull some hard G's and you maybe start to get tunnel vision, but you don't quite black out.
It's a good thing I yoga every morning.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy. So that was Bass. This guy is trying to climb back into his jetpack, basically. So, he's not really attacking you, Zinnia. He's just focusing on that. And he's not doing too well. He's maintaining a grip on it. He's got now a hand on each strap, and he's trying to like basically do a pull-up and pull himself up into it so he can clip the thing again. But it is your turn. And you basically are now hanging onto a guy who's hanging onto a jetpack, and Bass is hanging onto your ankles.
Yeah, I'm shocked that he's able to try to pull himself the fuck up with the wee bodies worth of weight.
There's a lot of G's. The only thing that's helping him is the fact that you are kind of going in a downward angle.
Oh.
It's more, he's not fighting, at least there's one force that's kind of helping him. And I will introduce one more problem. The direction you are currently headed, if you don't change directions, you will slam into the wall in one or two rounds.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I never thought like something like this would happen with a simple like, yeah, the cannibals come back. Attack of the killer cannibals.
Make it as complicated as possible.
When you're wrestling over a jetpack, nothing is simple.
Okay. I want to. Okay. Pruitt, if I spend some effort, can I hover well enough that I would be able to hold myself up and bass?
Yes, I would say that if you put a level of effort into it, you'd be able to hold him up. But you know how normally you can move?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to move except down. Like,
okay.
You could lower yourself, but like, yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to okay. I'm just gonna keep holding on to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said we had 2 rounds before we crashed, yes?
Yeah, you think that it's a double long distance away, and at the angle you're going, you're traveling about 100 feet around. Yeah, you think you're about 200 feet away. So
okay,
and you're kind of like at an angle at a descent, and here's the wall. So yeah, you know.
Okay. First thing, then this round, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my weighty ability essentially. I want to try to make I want to try to make him heavy, the dude I'm holding on to.
Okay. Is that then? Now that's, you can affect just one creature and not like an area, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, he is a level 4 creature, so let's see if that gravity can affect him.
18.
18?
Yep.
Okay. So a couple of things happen. Yep. A couple of things happen. Your power totally works. You're kind of, like I said, you were hanging on to him and you kind of you had spun over a little bit, and you basically just like push him down. And were you still trying to hang on to him when you do this? Or you...
No, I'm going to let go of him.
Yeah. So yeah, it works. You push him down and his hands rip away from the straps, and the jetpack flies into the wall, now released from its tether of 3 bodies. But yeah, you push him away from you, and it's totally like, you know, it's like Hans Gruber, and he's like, you know, and falls away from you. And he's like, I just wanted a meal. And so now y'all are free falling, cue the Tom Petty, but you're also still at an angle. Your momentum was carrying you at an angle. And so, you know, like, even with your, well, no, you haven't hit hover yet, so I'll shut up.
No, I knew that I had 2 rounds to do this, Pruitt. So.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's one of those things, like, as the words are coming out of my mouth, it's like, that's why she did this first, dumbass. It's like,
so good.
I'm going to stop mansplaining, because then you can play your own character. But I will say this, once again, as you push him away, and Bass, you hear this clearly as you're dangling there, and you see her like detector, radio device is kind of flapping against her hip. You hear a we have, and it goes back, but you pretty sure they said we have when you use this power, and he falls. And I mean, all of the conflicts other than if you want to go ahead and hit your power there, and just give me a d20 roll, and just this is basically a level 1 roll with effort just to stay afloat and stop your momentum before you hit the wall, Zinnia.
Zinnia picks Bass up, turns him so he smashes against the wall.
No.
Sorry, anti-hero. Renegade.
No.
This is I come equipped with air bass. It doesn't really work. How was that? Did you get a 3 or better, Kiana?
Yeah. That is a. Yep. That's definitely a 15. So.
Okay. Yeah. You just kind of enact your hover ability. And this is a sustained ability, right?
This is essentially it's a roll. I can hold it for 10 minutes essentially.
Yeah, but you are putting effort into it.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you push this guy away, and you hear that hiss. And Bass, you're sitting there like hanging from her like she's your Mary Poppins umbrella, and you, as you hold this power and hover you stopped about 10 feet from the wall, and it was a particularly jagged spot. It would not have been pretty had y'all slammed into it, but your receiver hisses again, and this time it sounds different. It sounds it almost sounds like it's been for anyone who is a fan of the Third Coast of rap, it sounds like it's been screwed a bit, as this is just kind of a steady power. You kind of hear sustained heavy damage. We are attempting to repair the engines, and then that you hear like that stretched out kind of elongated sentence before it goes back to a hiss, and you kind of have buoyancy and you've come to a complete stop.
Do we have are we just kind of like floating there?
Yeah, it's literally just a moment where y'all
ankles, and I'm like, Zinnia, I apologize. Do you consent to let me hold on to the bottom of your heels like this? If not, I'll let go now and fall to my death.
No, yeah, I think she's like, no, yeah, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you die. That was exciting. Also, you definitely hear that coming from the receiver too, right?
Yes, I was going to ask, if you would be so kind, may I climb up partially, to a more comfortable position, with your permission, of course, and may I examine the receiver?
I mean, I can also lower us slowly, maybe.
I'm scared that I'm going to lose. It's one of those things where, like, my
it's like, yes, you can hold on to whatever you need to hold on, dude, to just not.
And at that moment is when Vash like comes up behind you, Bass. He's like, "Hey there, boss. Don't worry, I got you." And you kind of feel him just kind of push y'all with his momentum towards the wall. He's like, "Don't worry, they're here. Just put your hand there." And then he kind of up, and Zinni, I know you can fly and everything. That was amazing. Are you okay? Do you need any help? Assistance? I have a med pack.
I lean in and kiss him. Sorry, it felt right. It felt right.
I'm hijacking my damn ships.
I'm sorry. It's one of those things. Bass and Vash. Listen. I'm not leaning in.
I think of you as a friend and possibly a leader. You definitely have that air about you, but and he kind of just like looks at you and then kind of looks at Zinnia and is like, Zinnia, you see this, like he's
Zinnia just like shrugs.
Okay, I try to play it off as if like I'm having flashbacks of like the war. It's like this is the last day of our lives. And,
Hey, I've been there. Hey, we've all been there that last day of college. And He's like, here, just sit down.
Thank you, Sally.
Do you need a juice pack? And he pulls like a little, like a
Juice
Capri
pack.
Sun.
yeah, it's just like a little, like a ration pack. And he pops the top off, and he's like, here, it's fruit punch.
Yeah. This is like
And
that
it's,
time I claimed to be hypoglycemic on the airplane, so they bring me food. It's like,
Pro tip, life hack.
I'd like some OJ, maybe a soda, and a kind bar. Just
Yeah.
get him some orange juice. Yeah.
And yeah, it's it's a fruit juice drink, but it's also pretty old. But it's refreshing.
It's when Zenith starts yelling out, "Hey guys, I'm okay!"
Y'all hear from about 300 to 400 feet above you. You hear a very vague, "I'm okay."
Zenith, I'm okay. I know you were worried.
Do y'all want me to go? Get him?
Yes.
Medea wants to go too.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. And he does that same thing where he just kind of like hops backwards, and he's about to fall, and just.
Yeah. I think Daniel will actually give him a smile this time round and like a bit of a wave.
You think you see a wink as he disappears from view.
Yeah.
He hasn't closed off his helmet. It's not like Star-Lord. It's not like nanotech, but it's more of a broken like Iron Man kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he zips up. Zenith, you see Vash coming up towards you.
Vash,
Hey, you okay? Any
killed
injuries?
2 dogs.
Is that
I
what
hurt
that
my
was?
shoulder again.
Oh, I have a pack. You want? And he kind of pulls out like this little black pack. He's like, here, just shake it up and just put it on your shoulder. It'll help.
It's like an icy hot pack.
Yeah, it's the Numenera version of an icy hot pack, sure. And roll a d4.
2.
You subtract 2 days from the amount of time it will take for your shoulder to heal.
I'm back down to just 1 day. That feels so much better. Thank you.
Hey, that's why I'm here. You need help getting down? You want to hop on? It's fun.
Yeah. Are you sure you can? I'm a lot bigger than Bass.
Hey,
Be okay?
hey, this baby's rated for like 600 pounds, so we're solid. And he kind of holds his hand out.
Okay.
It's like, here, if you just want to grab onto this, and he's got like a hip, like it's clearly a handhold on his hip, like for passengers.
Right.
And
I haven't touched anybody's hips in 2.5 years.
hey, don't worry, I'll be gentle. And he's not gentle as he like turns over and flies back down. And y'all are back together again.
You okay?
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah. That was actually kind of fun, if a little dangerous. And our ship's kind of fucked. But
Fucked. How fucked is?
I think Zeddy will just like point at ship in WoW.
We're talking illegal in 48 states. The kind you can't send through the mail, Zenith.
What's the state?
It kind of,
West
Water's
Argo.
one, matter's one.
Zenith starts to cry a little bit when he sees the ship.
Yeah, no, the ship, like, y'all could maybe get it functioning enough to just, like, literally descend and ascend. Any kind of maneuverability is, even at a glance, you can tell. But you might be, like I said, you might be able to use it just, almost like just a blimp. Like those pirates that you encountered earlier. But it would take a substantial effort, extended effort to do that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think as Jenny sees Senna start to cry, she just like pats him on the shoulder.
You're
I'm
like,
really-
ship.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It was kind of everything just went really bad with it. I tried really hard.
It's fine. You did your best.
Yeah.
Just
Pat pat. No, same time as doing pat pat, I think she's just taking the receiver out of her belt and like handing it over to Bash. So one hand is doing that, and the other hand passing off the device.
Okay. Yeah. So Zinnia passes you a device.
I'm going to try to use my tinker ability to close in on the signal.
Okay.
Zenith, hand me your tinfoil hat. I need something to increase range.
Okay.
I don't wear one of those anymore.
Just tinfoil underwear on my head.
You want to touch my underwear?
I didn't think you wore any. Commando, it's the only way to live.
The conspiracy theorist commando is tinfoil underwear.
I don't want anyone. It's lined with lead. I don't want any of those body scanning machines to look at me.
Nobody's gonna read the mind of my sperm.
Radio waves can't get in.
That's a million different looks into my brain.
It's true.
Oh my gosh.
Clone you a million times.
I hurt my lungs. I can't handle it. All right. So
Kiana, you okay? All right, awesome. Mark that off on Kiana's dead bingo.
All right.
I like talking about my sperm.
Ah!
Does that count as using my...
Any responses? I can't. Sorry.
It's been a long day.
Subject you want to cover before you... Never mind. Wave it off! But then I want to say it's too hard to... Oh, no! Damn it!
It's just so hard.
All right. Get a grip. Shit! Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize for this level of unprofessional behavior from the WebDM Twitch crew.
I'm not.
But have we ever?
But I am not
professional?
sorry. This is how humor is born.
I'm hiding behind heart-shaped sunglasses now. All right.
Oh.
I am the character. It's Mr. Patrick Stewart.
So yeah, Zenith, you're trying to calm down, while Bass, you're trying to tinker with this thing to increase the signal. Here's one thing you notice, like, while tinkering with it. Like, it is working perfectly. The signal is coming through nice and clear. It is this very monotone, with very little variability at all. But like increasing this signal, like, you're not sure like what that would help. Like, well,
this is what I want to do then.
Go for it.
Without his permission, I want to take Zenith's recorder, and I'm going to try to record the signal into Zenith's recorder. So we might listen to this over and over again and try to pick out details.
Okay.
How about if I just record it for you, Bass?
No, you're just gonna hold up your little microphone and put it all. You're not gonna get it. Look.
If we lose this is an important document for both the history and future.
I won't lose it. Just believe in me.
Okay. How long do you record?
I'm going to record. I'm gonna ask Zenith, how long am I allowed to record?
And are you just recording as is, like just like holding a record up while?
No. This is one of those. This is why I want to tinker with it. I want to feed the signal through transduction, through my magic cable into his recorder. The same as if you were, like in the old days, if you were, you know, there's kids that would. You ever shoot home videos and then like add music to it? And then there were the kids that would hook up their CD player to the VCR and they would like dub really clean music over it. This is what's going on. So I'm going to try my best to do a 1-to-1 quality transfer.
Okay.
Super sample.
Yeah, so when you actually start transferring it over, you can tell, like, we'll say that Zenith's recorder has a bit like a volume, you know, and it, like, sure enough, it is now registering a very low signal that is mostly steady, and it just has a little variability. But this is important. How long are you recording?
Well, I wanted to ask Zenith. Zenith, how long am I allowed to record?
I mean, up to an hour.
I record an entire hour.
Okay. So you record this signal for an hour. And we'll say that this is when you can take your hour rest. So we'll have our recovery roll that you can do that.
Thank goodness.
And when you get done recording for an hour, what do you do?
I apparently don't regenerate a sufficient amount of points because I rolled a 1 on my recovery roll. But I could add 2 to it.
You get 3. You get 3 total.
My pools aren't that bad. It's just I use effort on speed rolls, and I have very small pool. That's right. I have that cipher. I could transfer 4 points more from speed to intellect and get up to like a 25.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm done recording. I want to try to transmit this signal back home and listen to it again while we're transmitting it.
Okay. All right.
And I'll explain my intent. There may be people smarter than me there. The whole while I'm sending it, I'm trying to discern, is there something here that I'm missing? But there might be someone smarter out there that
Well, I mean, okay, here are the clues. This thing is receiving a signal. Whenever Kiana has used, or Zinnia has used her powers, the signal refines into speaking. And like, that's the thing, is you're hearing that low grade signal become like a hiss and then become a word and then disappear as the power is released.
Yes.
And so that is what y'all have observed.
Zinnia.
Yeah.
Can you float me around a little?
Sure.
Those are powers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, she'll shrug and...
I just want to listen while Zinnia floats me around. Do things come in clearly?
Okay. Zinnia, are you just casting the power on him, or are you putting effort into it, or how are you casting hover on Bass?
Build.
I am going to ask Bass why he wants to do this. Like, okay.
I have suspicions that the signals and signal strength is connected. The amplitude of the signal equates to the amount of power you exert. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I think I sort of remember. I think I sort of remember the professor saying something about this. Something about my powers being similar to the signal.
Mm-hmm. That's why they were using you basically as a, like, almost like a Wi-Fi, like, you know, I'm going blank, but you know what I'm talking about, like an amplifier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yes, you have harmonious signals.
Yeah, so yeah, I can do it. Probably gonna need to expend a bit more energy into it. But yeah, sure. And she's just gonna she'll do a thing. She's gonna expend an effort.
I am deeply appreciative and grateful. And I give you the cipher that Tywu gave me, to where if you want to transfer 4 points from one pool into another, you can do that. Permanently. It's like the yellow pebble from the Fraggles. You pass it on to the next person.
Is that the stuff that the Fraggles eat from the doozers?
Not the doozer sticks.
Oh, not doozer sticks? Okay. Cool. Okay, so you put a level of effort into causing, so you pull a Luke and hover C-3PO around the room.
Good analogy.
And yeah, and as you do, much like before, there is the signal becomes more audible, where it's just kind of a low grade, like a very low grade hum, just a zzz. It kind of crackles, and then again, it's the same type of very stretched out, almost like it's, I don't know, just elongated. And all you hear is Singularity Drive Singularity Drive will be initiated momentarily. Captain is still in med stasis. Please send help. Lieutenant Wynneth out.
Lieutenant Wynneth.
Mayday, Mayday. And it like seems to start over.
Okay, so it's it's on a loop, it's on repeat, it's a signal. I send a response in French. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I'm going to relay all this information to Zenith and Xenia.
Oh, they can hear it. It's like it's coming out of the receiver itself.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how far they floated me. But
well, I assume they didn't like send you out.
You never know with Xenia. She might just be like, eh.
We'll just send you out into the open.
Fling you into the fall.
How's that feel, old man? As she dangles
No,
me.
It probably would have been like in like small circles around them, like not in one place, but definitely just like, yeah. Okay, so message from ship somewhere.
Singularity Drive. I ever heard of singularities.
I mean, if y'all want to,
the metal virus, right?
No, I mean, well, I mean, the singularity is a concept of the approaching cyborgism of everyone, but I mean, whether you think it's connected with that, because that's kind of a concept in our world. I'm not sure if you get that here.
Yeah.
I would say that if you want to give me like an understanding Numenera role or anything having to do with technology or whatever, or knowledge, I mean, I would say, Bass, you know all about secrets and stuff. You've been around. But if y'all want to give me a knowledge roll.
Okay.
I'm going all in, double effort.
What level?
I'm not going to tell you the level.
Okay. I have a book about I have a book about the Numenera.
That's an asset.
And I am trained in understanding Numenera.
That's another one. So there's 2 shifts.
Okay. And I will spend a level of effort.
I rolled a 16 with 2 levels of effort.
With how many?
2.
With 2? You rolled a 16?
Yeah.
Okay. So just keep in mind how much effort you put in and what you rolled. Emma?
I rolled a 15. I'm trained. I put no effort in.
Okay, so this was going to be a level 8 roll. Because, I mean, you know, this is something like that is so far beyond what y'all have experienced. So, level 8, you put 2 levels, so that brings it to a 6, which is an 18. Would you roll, Bass?
16 with 2 effort.
16, so you just missed it. Xenia, you had an asset. You have training.
Yeah.
You put 2 levels of effort, so it brings it to a 4.
Okay, well, I got a 16.
All right. You have read a book, and it's actually just kind of like, oh, wait, there's like a cliff note in this book that you have that led you to another book that you've read, but it's about like basically the theory of singularity engines and the fact that it's an encapsulated black hole used to power ships or planets. I mean, like immense power, like more power than, multiple civilizations would need over eons, right? Like these things. And so, but much like a singularity, the problem with them is if they're not completely contained, they can cause time distortions. And that's a big problem with them. And so about as much as you know about them, other than they're a power unit, but they have their drawbacks.
Yep, I will pass on that information to the others. Okay.
But it does seem to track. I mean, you do control gravity, and a singularity is an immense gravitational force. So that does seem to start to align with what the professor was telling you.
So we might be tracking that.
Mm-hmm. But remember what I will say, just so you'll remember what he did tell you right before you left, is the active signal has seemingly has stopped, but they are still detecting the signal, and they didn't understand why, and so just. You're still detecting this signal nice and clear as you have descended into the fall. So anyway, that's something to think about. And as you are mulling this over, from some distance, not too far away, you hear what sounds like Tywu screaming. You're not sure if in pain, in surprise, in glee, but you're pretty sure you hear Tywu screaming. And that's where we're going to leave off.
I don't like that.
For this week. Because we're going to have to figure out what the hell Tywu was up to this whole time. So anyway, I hope everybody had fun there. There were certainly some revelations tonight that are, shall we say, relative to the plot at hand. And yeah, it's pretty heavy. So anyway. I hope everybody had a good time this evening. I hope you join us next week where we can resolve what's going on with Tywu and his strange little being. But let's go around to cast and crew. We're going to do reverse order as always, and tell us how you enjoyed tonight, where we can find you, and all that fun stuff. Starting with you, Grant, the man in the shades. I heart him.
All right, let's see which ones I have today. But hey everyone, my name's Grant. I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games, freelancing for a lot of different companies such as Monty Cook Games, who designed the system that we were running tonight. I also freelance for 2C Gaming, occasionally Kobold Press. I pop around. I'm WebDemon's Twitch producer. And stay tuned to my Twitter at WisePapaGrant. In October, there's going to be a really cool project launching that maybe someone is a lead designer on. And maybe if you like dark fairy tale stories and 1980s Jim Henson aesthetic, like The Dark Crystal or Labyrinth, there could be a very cool campaign setting launching. Back to you, Prue.
Oh, how are you going to tease us like that and just leave us hanging?
Hoggle is Hoggle's friend.
Emma!
Hi.
Hey!
Hi.
Where are you?
What?
We're over to you.
We're over to me. It's me. I had a good time. There were good giggles. We figured out things. I feel like I need to watch about a half dozen episodes of Next Gen again.
And Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who.
There's one episode of Doctor Who you should really watch. This is one of those parts where, like, I will say, sorry to interrupt your outro, but there is a hidden list of inspirational, like, media that you need to view for the once you know.
Is it the end of a season?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
Tennant?
I'm not going to tell you any of that.
Because I know you watched Doctor Who because I suggested it, if I recall.
It was your very persistent passion.
Pruitt, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet?
Like, no, I haven't. And then you were like, here, just watch this episode. It's called Blink. And it blew my fucking mind. And which, by the way, anyone who has having problems with getting someone into Doctor Who, just show them Blink. And
yeah, just have the rest of your players for D&D not show up that day and show them Blink.
I'm like, all right, I'll watch Doctor Who. God. And then we watched another episode, I believe, right after. I believe we started the whole thing right after that.
Started the whole thing right after that.
And I watched like 3 episodes, and then I went home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So which is all to say, I'm in your brain, and I know.
Because I'm in your brain, man.
Brain. We suggested Firefly too. In your brain. Yeah. That's my outro.
I love it. That's how you do it. You leave the mystery
Your brain too, Twitch.
in the mystique. You leave it wanting more. Over to you, Kiana, who some revelations tonight surrounding Zinnia. It's interesting.
Fun times. Yeah, that was some interesting things I learned. Also, doing weird, stupid shit with my gravity powers. That's fun, always. I was gonna send this guy plummeting, and I'll just hang out over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, super, super fun as always. I can't wait for next time. But until then, you guys find me over on Twitter at Kiana S. Best way to figure what I'm doing, because I do a lot of tabletop game stuff, whether that's streaming or writing or shouting to the void. But kind of a combo of streaming and writing. Upcoming this next week is going to be the release of Harper's Tale, which is going to be a crowdfunded, kid-friendly D&D anthology, adventure anthology that's written by a whole bunch of really awesome people in the community, including me. I'm writing a chapter. It leads your character from level 1 through 10, and all of it's going to be crowdfunded, but it's going to be through Indiegogo because all of the funds that we are raising is going to go to charity. So the adventures are going to be written, the art's going to be done, all that fun stuff. Just all the money is going to go to support Friends of Kids with Cancer, as is named after Harper, who is Matt or Saturday Morning Scenarios' daughter who just beat leukemia. So there's that's going up on Indiegogo on September 3rd. So definitely go follow that. But in a couple weeks, I am going to be DMing over on Cobalt Press a charity stream of this to help spread some awareness. It'll be my first time DMing D&D on stream in like
3 years?
No, in like a year.
Yeah.
It's been a long fucking time. So it'll be super fun. So come and join me over there on the 14th. But just definitely check out my Twitter and all that stuff for all those plugs because, yeah, fighting kids, fighting cancer that affects kids and all that fun stuff, and also get cool D&D adventure while you're at it.
Awesome. That sounds like a great cause. So everybody tune in for that. Come on. Anyway, so that's going to be it for tonight. I just want to give one more shout out to our sponsors, Tabletop Loot, WebDM15, get you 15% off dice and fun stuff over there. And also D&D Beyond, check them out. We love them, even though we're doing a Numenera game right now. You can check out our the D&D Beyond links for the characters on the Thursday show, I believe. And when we return with Starward Bound, you'll be able to check that fun stuff out then. But until then, I want everyone out there to have fun, have plenty of games, and as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.